So we've got ourselves another centre-back, and it's going to be arguably better than Collar maybe. 87 pace, 91, 92 on the new Sol Campbell, who is 91. He's got himself a lovely triple upgrade from his Thunderstruck that did manage to get the upgrade from his 86. We have now had a decent pace increase for him. Obviously, when we look at the stats, you've got 4 on the pace, obviously a big shooting boost at 33, 18 on the passing and dribbling, 2 on the defence and 1 on the physical, which is fair enough. At the moment he's coming in at 448, which we paid 440, so that's looking good. And we have got the bruiser and aerial playstyle pluses. So if you haven't got an aerial already, then it might not be a bad shout. I'm always a big fan of having at least anticipate, slide tackle, block, but bruiser, we can still make it work. I did quite like his 88 because he did come in quite cheap. With this version especially, we are looking at the shadow more than anything, which is going to give him 95 pace, 97 defending. Already having that physicality turns him into a 96 centre back. We've got 94 composure, 80 on the agility, 81 on the balance, great reactions, good passing, a standard good centre back. I feel like he'll be in that kind of mid to top range. Won't quite crack the top 10, but definitely in and around below it. Got Virgil coming across. Lovely block from Sol Campbell. First duty on the defence is a solid one. I think Sol Campbell's definitely one that I could definitely get on board with. Like I say, it's going to be very hard to crack that top 10. The amount of top-end centre-backs that we've got nowadays is just unbelievable. So it isn't necessarily anything that he could do differently, because I just don't think even if you made him like a 93 that he would even then still crack it. It matters on good challenge. It matters on playstyle pluses. It matters about the player itself and just how easy they are to get. And most definitely in icon standards, he's going to be very difficult nonetheless. Oh, so Campbell with a little bit of an aerial there. Didn't expect him to reach it. Tried again. I mean, when he can jump about 2 feet off the ground, it makes it a lot easier. Finally, we've got a decent person in the middle. Normally, Virgil's the one there with the aerial plus, but never seems to get put there. Ooh, Sol Campbell coming across. To be fair, did he get the block there? No, he didn't, but it seemed like he put enough pressure on to make him skew his shot a little bit. He saw the red time. It's decent, kind of bring him, recovery challenge there. 95 pace is definitely going to be enough for him to be able to kind of have their opportunities. Inside out. Good block from Campbell. Sees it away. He's been brilliant in that centre-back role, like I thought he would be. He's definitely just... He's a consistent centre-back. That is going to be what he really is. He's good on the ball. He's great on the tackling, the strength, the physical aspect, the pace. He's a solid centre-back. I think... Ooh. I mean... There we go, recovered very nicely. But in terms of a normal centre-back, he just radiates a great defender. Great challenge from Campbell. Saw him from a mile off. Ooh, he's got through. There it is. Every single time. Love the sliding tackle ability. It's a shame that he doesn't have the slide tackle plus, to be honest. Ooh, and again, he's going to go for the Werner ball. Get the header. Aerial plus doing its magic again. And again, easy. Honestly, I would love to see the stats. I kind of wish they had like more in-depth stats to see how many times he's been beaten, because genuinely I think this game has had a perfect game. So Sol Campbell's coming in at 445. Phenomenal for performance. Genuinely top end. Granted, it is going to be up and down. You will find people that can absolutely exploit him, but that match specifically was brilliant. He got every tackle right. His physicality was fantastic. The pace was brilliant. Everything was spot on, and he managed to get a headed goal as well with that aerial plus. If we do compare him into his Thunderstruck version, obviously the pace has taken a bit of an increase, which is nice. Shooting for the promos, fair enough. 18 passing and dribbling is brilliant. A 7 increase on composure is amazing, especially the 24 and 22 agility balance boost. They are telling us something we don't know, because there is a reason why that card has had a significant agility balance boost. Either there's going to be so many centre backs with that amount of agility balance, or they've just randomly decided to put it in. Obviously, the defending physical was already pretty at the top. Like, we're talking a +2 and 1. There's nothing too crazy there. And it's like we've said with a lot of the centre backs, they're now catching up on pace. You have your Maldinis, you have your Rios that already had the pace and a decent defensive physical. Then you had your Nestas, Berezes, your Puyols, your Campbells to some extent. I think he got a decent upgrade. 81 wasn't bad to start with, but it wasn't quite in them 85s, 86s, where then they got the upgrade and they had 92 pace for the Shadow, because that's what we've kind of got to go off. You may have 83 here, but it's going to be 91, whereas a lot of people were getting up to that 94, 95 mark. Now we're starting to see the upgrades of the lower cards. It's really nice to see, because he is catching up. The only thing then is kind of the playstyle pluses. That's going to add the next element to it. Once we get into potentially the triples, hasn't been confirmed, but I guarantee it's going to happen. It's going to be then, do you want aerial, anticipate, intercept? Do you want aerial, power header, block, intercept, anticipate? There's going to be a complete meta change once that triple comes in, because then there's going to be more variations of cards, because 2 is good, it's pretty standard, but when you start adding 3, you're going to see some absolute monster cards with absolutely everything. I think he's pretty much worth the price. Like how we saw with Kola, he was a very, very good centre back that really kind of came up through the ranks now, where we're looking at the 87 to 84 bonus here, but then the physical defending is where it really is at. He obviously has the anticipate block, which is a very good pairing in itself. I'm still a big fan of the aerial. The bruiser not as much. I don't mind it in like a CDM if you've got like bruiser intercept, it works. But I would prefer the anticipate, which I think everybody would. And I think with the both of them we went with Shadow, which is obviously going to put them at pretty much the same sort of level, to be fair. You're looking at 98 and 97 and 92, 95. It is just totally down to the anticipate versus the bruiser or something like that, because 3-4 pace is not going to make that much of a difference. Then obviously you've got to look at what the acceleration type is. Granted, with Shadow you're going to get the mostly lengthy, still good enough more than anything. Pure lengthy is the best one personally in my opinion, but even then I will happily take any amount of lengthy you can get. Overall wise, I'd put him a straight 9. When we look at the centre backs, and I did this with Kola as well, there is a lot of top end. Your number 1, 2 and 3s like Virgil, Maldini, Rio, you're looking at Alberto, you've got Lucio obviously there as well, and company. You then throw in somebody like a Yashin, you throw in, who else would you go with? There's got to be somebody else. Arejo, Blanc, they're kind of like your makings of the top 10, and that's just by rating as well, not by price. Then you'd look at somebody like your Collier, you'd look at Carvalho, you look at Marquinhos, then obviously you'd throw in a bit of Sol Campbell as well. He's going to be in that second batch where he's not quite the top 10, but he's just underneath, and if you get him, he's still going to be a very good centre-back. It's not easy getting a Team of the Year Rio, a Team of the Year Virgil van Dijk. They are expensive. This is more than doable for a team to go into Team of the Season, and I think he will definitely flourish in that role. So let me know down below if you've managed to pack any. Have you got him? Have you tried him out? What's your thoughts? Peace.